Manny Floyd Part 2. Floyd Mayweather sent a text to our very own Stephen A. yesterday and said he would be willing to fight Manny after he healed from his torn rotator cuff. On the rematch, Bob Arum says this. He said they should forego the fight in September and they should wait until Manny is ready to fight in April, suggesting it's a wise course of action. Mayweather sent the following tweet. Take a look at it. 19 years in the fight game, and I've had one excuse. Don't have an excuse. Winners win and losers have excuses. All right, so Stephen A., let me ask you this question. Obviously, you got the text yesterday after you and Skip were debating, and we talked about this on the show. Do you see a rematch against a quote-unquote healthy Manny a good idea? Would you want to see that?
Oh, it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't pay $100 for it. I'd pay the regular $39 or $49.95. I certainly wouldn't pay $100 for it, but a rematch wouldn't bother me at all. But I'm not an advocate of Floyd Mayweather waiting until Manny Pacquiao gets healthy to give the rematch. I'm an advocate of Floyd Mayweather doing what he does, going out there, planning on boxing in September. Go ahead and box, tie Rocky Marciano's all-time record of 49-0, and then to break that record, give Manny the rematch once Manny gets healthy. But I think Floyd shouldn't disrupt his flow, his rhythm, his cadence, or whatever the case may be. He should continue to do what has got him to this point. Don't worry about it. He planned on retiring in September. Go ahead and retire, and then come out of retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao to break the all-time record. Matter of fact, I'm not a proponent of it being in Vegas. Too much politics going on. MGM Grand, love Floyd Mayweather, according to Pacquiao, hates them. You know, the ticket issue, the closed circuit issue. No, have it at Jerry World with 100,000 people up in there with that big jumbotron for them to watch it on. Have it in Macau, you know, near the Philippines. Do it someplace. Go into Manny Pacquiao's backyard and beat him. You understand? Because, see, here's the thing, Skip. If he were to fight in Macau, the reality is that that's going to be a pro-Manny Pacquiao contingent. The belief is that level of adrenaline and motivation combined with Manny Pacquiao being healed, since he's using that as an excuse, all of the stuff would be set for him to come out there roaring at Floyd Money Mayweather. So there really would be no excuses then. In front of your own crowd, with Floyd Mayweather fighting in hostile territory, okay? And on top of all of that, you being healthy and no longer having that excuse, then Manny Pacquiao will come at Floyd more than ever before. So this time when he gets schooled, there's really no, I mean, there's no excuse now, but there would really be no excuse then. That's what I would be a proponent of.
Interesting.
You like that, don't you?
So the more you speak, the more you seem like you're warming up to a rematch.
No. Listen, I was never averse to a rematch. I'm averse to paying the price that people paid this weekend for the rematch. But I also want to be on a record, Skip, by saying I don't blame Floyd Mayweather one bit. As far as I'm concerned, Floyd Mayweather was the only person that was honest throughout this entire ordeal. You knew what you were going to get when Floyd Mayweather stepped into the ring. It's Manny Pacquiao who purportedly lied about his injury. It's Freddie Roach and Bob Arum who joined in to do the same. Everybody got paid. Floyd Mayweather did his job. He walked into the ring. He fought his fight. He marketed the fight prior to the fight. Everybody got paid, okay? Manny Pacquiao, Bob Arum, Freddie Roach, the MGM Grand, Vegas, the nation's economy, for crying out loud, sports bars and beyond. Everybody got paid. Floyd Mayweather did his job. Manny Pacquiao didn't do his job. That's why it was
Didn't
the dud
do his
that
job?
it was.
Are you kidding?
Didn't do his job?
Okay, I'm going to save that for just a moment here. First of all, back to your original point. I want this in Macau. I want at least 1 or 2 international judges instead of 3 American judges who bow down to Floyd's mystique and reputation as they did Saturday night. Now, when I like to see a rematch, you know what? I'm going to go you about 10 better on this. I would pay $200 to watch a rematch here. I might even pay more than that. I don't care if another living soul out there in our viewer land would pay 1 nickel for a rematch. I do not care if anybody else watches the rematch. I want to see a rematch. My man, Manny Pacquiao, definitely deserves a rematch here. Now, I will be objective. I will be the first to say, Stephen A. Smith, I don't really love the fact that this rematch would take place when your man, Floyd Mayweather Jr., is 39 years of age. That doesn't sit great with me. My man, Manny Pacquiao, would be 37 years of age coming off major shoulder surgery. I don't love the circumstances. They're not optimal. Obviously, the greatest trilogy in boxing history was Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, and obviously Ali was 29 in the first fight, 32 in the second fight, and 33 in the third fight, which, by the way, did take place in the Philippines. Maybe this one could take place in the Philippines.
Why
you never
not?
know. Why not home and home? What, an away game for Manny Pacquiao at MGM?
Okay.
And now a home game in Manila. How about that?
I see what you're
Another
saying.
thriller in Manila.
No disrespect, but considering some of the things that have gone on there, I mean, I think Macau is more feasible
Okay,
for
that's fine.
obvious
That's fine.
reasons.
The
Come on
Chinese
now.
Las Vegas.
Come on now.
We can do that. We can do that.
Right.
He's right.
Now,
Okay.
back to business. I'm here to tell you, your man Mayweather has been extremely lucky. He's been lucky in his whole life, to me, but he was extremely lucky this time, both before and during this fight. He was extremely lucky that Manny Pacquiao busted up his shoulder 2.5 or 3 weeks before last Saturday night. And then I'm going to say it again. He was extremely lucky that those 3 American judges chose to effectively bow down to Floyd Mayweather Jr. and treat him, his mystique and his reputation, with way too much respect, and treat Manny Pacquiao like some unknown underdog challenger who couldn't win a round unless he dropped Floyd in the round or maybe even drew blood in the round. That's how that fight got judged and scored. I'm not saying it was a robbery. It was just an injustice, Stephen A. Smith. Again, little Manny Pacquiao went out there and fought his behind off. On my card, I had him winning 7 rounds to 5 because I was always taught from my first Ali fight that I covered 36 years ago that the aggressor wins the round. If there's no knockdown, and there were 0 knockdowns in this fight, the aggressor wins the round. Manny Pacquiao was the aggressor at least 7 times in that fight, 7 to 5 rounds. And as Manny Pacquiao said moments after the fight, he didn't do nothing because he didn't do nothing. That's why Evander Holyfield said, I'm sorry, I thought Pacquiao won the fight just because he was the aggressor. So again, do I want to see a rematch? Does he deserve one? You better believe he does.
I have a question. I have a question for you, Skip. Is it true? Are you not on the record saying that, I don't recall whether you were at the Sugar Ray Leonard Marvelous Marvin Hagler fight in the 80s. I think you were there, but I don't recall.
I did.
But I do recall you saying...
I actually ran the Boston Marathon that day. I was supposed to be there. I watched it in my hotel in Boston after I ran the marathon because that was my first Boston Marathon. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
I watched it.
I'm bringing that up.
I wrote about it off the fight that I watched in the hotel. Yeah.
I got it. I do remember you saying, though, that you picked Sugar Ray Leonard. You thought he won that fight.
I did.
Skip Bayless, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, came out and said, he didn't do anything. He never hurt me. I was the constant aggressor, and I was the champion. And he was so furious, he never fought again. You picked Sugar Ray Leonard. He wasn't the aggressor in that fight.
Yes, he was.
So here you are with Manny Pacquiao.
When it was time, when he picked his spots, but he put glove on face repeatedly. Listen, it's clear that Pacquiao damaged Mayweather far more than Mayweather damaged Pacquiao in that fight. I'm sorry. Floyd was beautiful defense, all-time great defense, and very little offense. Manny Pacquiao looked like he was ready to run a marathon when the fight ended.
Skip. contrary to popular belief for those out there who think I'm some bosom buddy of Floyd Mayweather just because I did an all-access piece that they didn't get. Let me be clear about something here, Skip Bayless. This is one thing I will tell you I do know about Floyd. If you want this rematch, you better keep your mouth shut. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the way you're talking, Floyd has nothing to win. There's a no-win proposition for him. Because he steps into the ring after being accused of being scared of him. He steps into the ring, and contrary to what you want to say, because you and Evander Holyfield, congratulations. You and Evander Holyfield, only two people on the planet who think he won. Okay, here's the deal.
That's not true.
The reality is, he stepped into the ring. He stepped into the ring. He was in his face. He was on the ropes. He was in the corner. It didn't matter where he was. He kept slipping punches. He made Manny Pacquiao miss almost 400 shots. And here you are, after calling him scared, he goes into the ring, he beats him. 3 judges gave him a unanimous decision. And what is Skip saying? One day, the judges robbed him. The other day, he's hurt. And now let's have a rematch. Floyd can't win, so why fight him? If you want a rematch, I suggest you keep your mouth shut, because if I'm Floyd, why waste my time?
I'm sorry.
Why waste my time?
I didn't mean to.
Why waste my time?
Please fight. Please fight Manny Pacquiao again. Please don't do anything.
You should.
I'll wear tape across my lips if you'll fight him again.
If I was him, listen, the point that I'm trying to make is, you can't sit there. Listen, if you said the man was scared, and then he went into the ring, and 3 judges, every boxing writer imaginable, and most of Joe Public concedes that he won the fight. The fact is, to sit here, one day it's an excuse about the judges, then it's an excuse about Manny Pacquiao being hurt, and prior to that, you're saying that he actually lost the fight. Skip, why fight? If you're Floyd, what do you have to win? What do you have to win if you're Floyd?
How is it an excuse if a man has a torn rotator cuff that is requiring major surgery as we speak? As Bob Arum said moments after the fight, he said he's got the Kobe Bryant injury, torn rotator cuff.
Why haven't you addressed my point? But why have you ignored my point about the MRI? I'm not failing to acknowledge that he has a torn rotator cuff. I'm saying, is it possible, Skip, if Kobe Bryant tore his rotator cuff while he was playing basketball, is it possible that Manny Pacquiao actually really messed it up when he was missing all of those blows he was throwing? How come you won't address that?
Okay, what if he did? What if it was slightly torn and he tore it completely when he tried to use his right hand in the 4th round? Arum has acknowledged he might have exacerbated the injury in the 4th round when he had Mayweather pinned on the ropes and was punishing him. Yeah, time out yourself.
Hold on. I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
I'm answering your question. Didn't he punish him in round 6?
Yeah. He had to take round 5 off.
So, whoa. You just said, Bob Arum said, he messed it up in the 4th. Well, then what the hell was the flurry in the 6th?
Have you ever heard of an athlete sucking it up and playing incredibly hurt?
God!
Yeah, oh my God is right.
Next subject.
Okay.
You're just gone. You're gone, Skip. You're there. You see it? You see it, Skip? You're somewhere out there. You're somewhere out there. You're unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
The point is,
there's no winning with you.
You should already have had multiple points deducted from this score on this show for low blows, because you are accusing Manny Pacquiao of making up, of faking an injury for which he is having surgery. How can you do that? The fact is the fact. He's having major surgery.
May I answer that question? I am in no way accusing Manny Pacquiao of faking the rotator cuff injury. I am sure that the surgery is not fake, that he tore his rotator cuff, that all of those injuries that he sustained were legitimate. Where I part ways with someone like you or anyone who thinks like you is, I think his arm, his shoulder was more than good enough entering the fight. When he got in the ring and he started missing all of those blows, he exacerbated whatever minor injury he may have had. He made it considerably worse, and that is what I believe happened. I believe that the product, if you swing, skip, if you're playing basketball like Kobe, and you sustain, Kobe got his injury off of a dunk. Why is it not conceivable that Manny Pacquiao got his injury from missing nearly 400 shots he threw at Floyd? Why is that not conceivable?
Why did he ask for a cortisone, a painkiller shot, a Toradol shot before the fight? Because it was so injured, he was just trying to get through it.
You brought up Kobe. You brought up Kobe. Kobe could have asked for a shot and went and played, but guess what? He didn't. Why? Because it's so bad, a shot would not have done the trick. So clearly, if you're asking for a shot, you've got, like the boxers have said. George Foreman came on Mike and Mike this morning, talked about it. Other boxers talked about it. You go in them fights all the time with little knick-knack injuries, strains, sprains, and the like. They understand it. It comes with the profession. Yeah. But Manny didn't expect to miss all the shots that he was missing, swinging at air.
The problem is here?
That's what happened.
You are such, I'm not saying you're in the entourage, but you are such a Mayweather fanatic that you cannot accept the fact that you came in here on Monday and you ridiculed me about how your man schooled Manny Pacquiao and he was schooling a one-armed man. Are you kidding me? It's laughable. He schooled a one-armed man.
This is first take.
I'm impressed.
This is first take. This is first take. I'd like to address it since you personally attacked me. I'm not offended,
personally
but since you personally attacked me,
you love Floyd Mayweather. That's not an attack. You admit that? You admitted it on SportsCenter the other day.
Time out. Time out. I love Floyd Mayweather's boxing skills, just like I loved Kobe's game, just like I loved LeBron's game, just like I loved Allen Iverson's game. Who was the person that usually broke stories about them that were negative? I don't recall Floyd Mayweather cussing you out on Twitter months ago. That was me, because I was the one calling him out. So all of this stuff that everybody wants to bring out, it doesn't impede my objectivity anyway. I call it like I see it. I believe he is a superior boxer. He is a superior fighter to Manny Pacquiao. I told you that. As a matter of fact, I told you you were the one that had me rooting for Floyd even more because of how much smack you talked about him in comparison to Pacquiao leading up to the fight. And now that chickens have come home to roost and I've proven to be correct, here you are with all of these excuses. I'm the one standing tall today because I was right. I told you he would win.
Oh, I just made up the fact that he needs surgery on his right shoulder. Did I just make that up?
He won.
Is that a legitimate excuse? Last question. We'll go to the next topic. Is it a legitimate excuse that he has a torn rotator cuff? Yes. Thank you. Next question.
Yes. But incurred during the fight.
It was already
during.
Oh, please. Okay, even during. It's an excuse. You know, come on. Stop it. Go ahead. Next question.
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, at home, do you want to see a rematch? If you do, please tell us yes or no at the hashtag FT Rematch. We're talking about Manny and Floyd rematch. Stephen A., half price. And we talked about this on the show. Do you see a rematch against a quote-unquote healthy Manny a good idea? Would you want to see that?
Oh, it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't pay $100 for it. I'd pay the regular $39 or $49.95. I certainly wouldn't pay $100 for it, but a rematch wouldn't bother me at all. But I'm not an advocate of Floyd Mayweather waiting until Manny Pacquiao gets healthy to give the rematch. I'm an advocate of Floyd Mayweather doing what he does, going out there, planning on boxing in September, go ahead and box top. For him to come out there roaring at Floyd Money Mayweather. So there really would be no excuses then. In front of your own crowd, with Floyd Mayweather fighting in hostile territory, okay? And on top of all of that, you being healthy and no longer having that excuse, then Manny Pacquiao will come at Floyd more than ever before. So this time when he gets schooled, there's really no, I mean, there's no excuse now, but there would really be no excuse then. That's what I would be a proponent of.
Interesting.
You like that, don't you?
So the more
yes,
you speak.
do. No, have it at Jerry World with 100,000 people up in there with that big jumbotron for them to watch it on. Have it in Macau. You know, near the Philippines. Do it someplace. Go into Manny Pacquiao's backyard and beat him. You understand? Because, see, here's the thing, Skip. If he were to fight in Macau, the reality is that that's going to be a pro-Manny Pacquiao contingent. The belief is that level of adrenaline and motivation combined with Manny Pacquiao being healed, since he's using that as an excuse, all of the stuff would be set by Rocky Marciano's all-time record of 49-0, and then to break that record, give Manny the rematch once Manny gets healthy. But I think Floyd shouldn't disrupt his flow, his rhythm, his cadence, or whatever the case may be. He should continue to do what has got him to this point. Don't worry about it. He planned on retiring in September. Go ahead and retire, and then come out of retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao to break the all-time record. Matter of fact, I'm not a proponent of it being in Vegas. Too much politics going on. MGM Grand, love Floyd Mayweather, according to Pacquiao, hates them. You know, the ticket issue, the closed circuit issue.
Manny Floyd Part 2. Floyd Mayweather sent a text to our very own Stephen A. yesterday and said he would be willing to fight Manny after he healed from his torn rotator cuff. On the rematch, Bob Arum says this. He said they should forego the fight in September and they should wait until Manny is ready to fight in April, suggesting it's a wise course of action. Mayweather sent the following tweet. Take a look at it. 19 years in the fight game, and I've had one excuse. Don't have an excuse. Winners win and losers have excuses. All right, so Stephen A., let me ask you this question. Obviously, you got the text yesterday after you and Skip were debating.